kind of held up as a standard for factions by you guys, and I love you back. I love you back, guys. And if this faction of guys are never on a stage again, it won't be because there's heat or because so-and-so doesn't get along with so-and-so or whatever the deal is. It's just life goes on. But I can tell you this, and I always sing this guy's praises. Thank God for Tony Khan, because he allowed you guys to dictate what we put on our television to an extent. And that wasn't, I know I spent 19 years with WWE, and I got to the point at the end, guys, where I hated the business, and I didn't think anybody would ever hear that come out of my mouth. He turned it over to the talent to do their thing, just like we did. We were never, ever given a finish, promo material, or anything else, because we were trusted to know what to do. And I just want to say that everybody here, I used to just, because I was the youngest probably of all of them, I used to marvel at all of your talents. Barry, you were as good as anybody's ever been in this business, period. Tully is the biggest asshole that's ever been born.
He was our asshole.
JJ still has aged better than all of us. That's real heat. Lex, at the time, you were green, but goddamn, nobody looked like you, pal.
Yeah, you did mean it when you called me an eggplant in the ring one time?
Yes. Quick story, you'll appreciate this. We're somewhere in California, it might have been LA at the Forum, and we're in a cage match with the Road Warriors and Tully. And who else was their partner? There was three. Was it Dusty? It was like a six-man.
Yeah, Dusty the Road Warriors.
But some brain surgeon sent a cage that didn't fit. It fit right, instead of fitting against the apron, it fit against the ropes. So, just asking, where were we supposed to stand? We stood inside the ring. Now, we're trapped in our corner, all in the ring, because you can't step out on the apron. Hawk, being Hawk, and we all know who Road Warrior Hawk was, he had the bright idea that when Lex was in the ring, he would just tag in and just walk Lex right back into our corner with two of us else standing there. And Lex goes, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, what do I do? What do I do? I said, shut up, eggplant, I'm thinking. Thus, the eggplant.
There's the eggplant. Tully, any final thoughts?
You did mean it.
He meant it.
Yeah.
It is 2022, and the stories and the thoughts were from 30 years ago and 35 years ago, and it's a tribute to everybody that sits up here, that we impacted your lives, your families, your memories of this business, because that was our effort and our job, to be the best that we could be so that you guys could have the best time, so that you could get your money's worth every time you watched and you paid to watch us wrestle. And it is a mutual admiration right now, because this is the greatest group of guys, in my opinion, that was ever put together by chance. And you guys got to be the recipients of all that wrestling history. It was a great honor to be part of it, and it's a great honor to sit up here with you guys on this stage.
All right. JJ?
How many other opportunities have there been for somebody creatively to say that they were going to try and create what we had? And if I heard it one time, I heard it 1,000 times. That the fans will say, "Oh, they're trying to be like the Horsemen." And what they were saying was that the Horsemen was something that was spontaneous. We didn't plan it. It happened. And we just savored that time, and just each of us used our natural ability. And I know in my case, it really was only years later, reflecting back, that I realized what a magical time it was. And just to have been blessed to be in the business in that era, surrounded by that level of talent. And it wasn't, an ego saying, "Oh, because we were that great." It just, because it wasn't any one individual. It'll never, take my word, it'll never happen again, because it was spontaneous. And you can take the credit for that. You made us what we were, and we just had enough sense to keep doing what we were doing because it was working. And when it was all said and done and we look back, it wasn't until sometimes years later that we look back and realized what a magical time in the business it was. And like for me, I'm so thankful that God allowed me to be a part of it.
Right. Barry?
Well, we've got a caption for what we are and what we went through. We call it catching lightning in a bottle. That's what we were. That's what it was. It was lightning in a bottle.
Sure was. Many bottles of you, brother. Ooh. Rick, go ahead, buddy.
So I was at Crockett Park. What year is that, Tony?
It was 1983.
In 1983, and there was this kid calling balls and strikes for a single O baseball team called the Charlotte O's.
Yeah.
Cal Ripken Jr. was playing there then. And we had a guy named Tom Miller that was doing the interviews that just didn't really fit in the marketplace at that time. So I go to Chitty Crockett and said, "There's a kid out there up in that wood box that needs to come to work in the wrestling business."
Yeah.
And here we are today, side by side.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know, man. It's when I was at my best in the ring, and it's the best time I ever had in the business. So, countless memories made my heart. I think that we got inducted as a group. It was one of the biggest moments in the business, and the greatest times. And I'm happy to see everybody. I hope this isn't our last reunion. I think they're in San Antonio next year, and I hope that we have an opportunity to talk about what's happened over the next 12 months.
37 years in December, the Horsemen were founded on a promo at the desk at TBS Studios. And now you see later what you guys mean to these guys and what these guys have meant to you. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you so much for your love of the Horsemen and pro wrestling.
Ric Flair, Barry Windham, JJ, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, Lex Luger, the Horsemen. Thank you.